And this is definitely the right time. My soul is welcome right here. My soul is truly welcome here. I want you to get that message loud and clear that my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome right here. I want you to get that message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 All right, good morning, good morning. Please remain standing as we open our service. Perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Thank you. You may be seated. Here at Unity Church of Flint, we believe and teach that everyone is a spiritual being created in God's image. We also believe that the Spirit of God lives within each individual person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and Fillmorian theology. This is a teaching ministry that honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. And we are so happy that you have chosen to walk this spiritual path with Unity Church of Flint today. Here at Unity Church of Flint, we are committed to developing our 12 faculties of consciousness. Each month, we focus on one of these by emphasizing a disciple and corresponding color. The spiritual idea for the month of February is love, which is the ability to attract. It is the desire and the unifier. And the disciple is John, and he represents unconditional acceptance and forgiveness. The corresponding color is pink. So this month, let us wear or carry something pink that reminds us that we are centers of love. And it is with love that I bring to you our featured soloist for today, my buddy, Brad Clark. Precious Lord, lead me on. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life when the dark disappears and night draws near and the day is past and gone. At the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on. And as we express gratitude, several things happen. Number one, we find more things to be grateful for. And then number two, it establishes within us a consciousness of attracting more to us. So as we move forward, if you have something to be grateful for, or if you have a experience where you have used these principles, you have used what we teach on a regular basis, this is your time to share what you have learned and how you are using it.
Okay. I'm very grateful. Oh, good, the kids are here. I'm very grateful I've had a super busy week, and it made me realize that truly God is the source of my supply, which I've been learning and learning and learning, and I'm trying to get it through this head. And then, there was something else. It was just things have been just popping up. Oh, I had a prosperity class from a Unity in Milwaukee, and that was good too. And it's like just getting a lot of good stuff out. So really wonderful week.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Barb.
Well, I'm grateful for these guys. But I'm grateful, last weekend I was with my 3 little grandkids. But we sold our car wash. Oh. It has been for sale for 7 years.
Oh,
wow.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. So, and things are looking up. And good. I'm grateful.
Beautiful. How is Howard?
He's doing better. Tuesday he has a CAT scan. They found a spot on his lung.
Okay.
And so he's having a CAT scan on Tuesday. And then we go from there.
Okay.
So it's just work in progress and it keeps on giving.
Great. Wonderful. Anyone else? Yes.
I'm grateful Kaisha finally came home after 4 months.
Yes!
Yes.
Finally home.
How much does she weigh?
7 pounds, 2 ounces, and she's still only 15 inches long.
That picture was awesome on Facebook. It was beautiful.
And then this is not gratitude, but I got a request. All these boys want a hug from you, and that's what they're over here being antsy.
Oh! Okay, come on, guys. Come on, kids.
We got him, Grady. That's what they've been waiting for.
That's what y'all been waiting for. Great.
Look at myself.
Oh, all right. Beautiful.
All right. Good job, boys. Good job.
What I'm going to have to do one Sunday, and I don't know how we're going to do this, but Brad, I'm going to need your assistance with this, is these young kids, I am just as much their minister as I am yours. And I need to devote some time in Sunday school with them. I've got to do that. So I'm not sure how we're going to structure service that day so I can be in the Sunday school room with, I'm going to say Brian's babies. We'll put it like that. But there will be a time that I will be able to. I'm going to have to make sure that 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 happened. So I'm back there with them. If there are no other,
Give me a chance.
gotcha, come on, girl.
It takes me a minute to stand up, dude. So, I am grateful again for Ty for introducing me to Warm Hands.
Helping hands, warm hearts.
Yeah, that. I am happy that I am there, that I am getting a ride to church. And things are going well. So, and I found out that even though I didn't find my meds yet from my previous house, it was like $9 for 14 days worth of meds.
Okay.
And you can get them, you can get the, what's the word? Use the copay and pay cash for a short amount of pills. So next time your grandson gets his pills, that's a possibility. Call the pharmacy and find out what it would cost to get 3 or 4 pills. It's
Wonderful.
Yes,
So-
very cool.
Yay.
Yay,
Thank you.
glad you're here, Tom.
I was wondering if this was
Come
coming.
on,
Come on, Ron. Come on, Ron.
I'm grateful to be here. On last Sunday, I shared with y'all the journey that I've been on, and since the beginning of the year, you know, I at the Burning Bowl, I burnt up bad health and all that kind of stuff, and so this year I'm intentionally living, you know, with good health, and whatever that looks like. And so I started a weight loss journey, and we're very happy about, and I thank everybody that called me, encouraged me, and you know helped me through and during that process. And I ain't done it, so I'm still keeping it up, and I'm just grateful that when you ask God for something, you don't know how it's going to happen, you know. And I learned something here that my blessings come in expected and unexpected ways. So as long as I stay open, you know, to whatever path, whatever the process is that God has, then everything works for my good.
Yep.
And I'm just grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you guys, and I want to share that.
And it shows.
Yeah. And as you change sizes, don't invest in a lot of expensive clothes because then it is harder. So look through thrift stores for stuff in the meantime as you're changing.
Well, I was grateful to be able to fit what's in the thrift store.
Yes, because that's an opportunity to circulate more money and substance. I love it. I love it. Anyone else? If that's all, did we have any gratitude from online, from the balcony? No? Okay, there may be some that will come on a little bit later, but for all of you who are in the balcony, we thank you for joining us either live or watching us at your convenience. You are just as much a part of this ministry as everyone who is in-house. And I cannot say enough that this message is for you as well as us in-house. At this time, I'm happy to turn over for the announcements and the daily word reading for today. Time.
morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Super Bowl Sunday.
All right.
I'm with D. I don't care who everybody moves. I'm still going straight. Announcements for February 11, 2024. The January, February daily words are in. You can pick yours up on the welcome table as you leave the sanctuary. Our weekly prayer meditation is on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. All are welcome. If you are not able to attend in person, please remember to join us in consciousness wherever you are. Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, our church building is open to the public for Narcotics Anonymous meeting. This Thursday, February 15th, there will be no class. We will return Thursday, February 22nd at 11 a.m. to conclude the book, Power of the Spoken Word. All Thursday classes are offered in hybrid format. The links are available on the church website as well as the weekly newsletter. Beginning Thursday, March 14, 2024, 11 a.m., we will begin our new class, Communion with God, by Neil Donald Walsh. Books are $15 and can be purchased after service today. Please see Katie to purchase your copy. The next completely virtual class offered on Wednesday evening will be Prosperity by Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore. There is a $40 registration fee for this class. Class registration will open March 1st, 2024. The first class will be Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Please follow our website and weekly newsletter for more details. Our Let guidebooks, 40 Days, Let Go, Let God, are available. Please pick up your copy as you leave the sanctuary. This guide is to be used daily starting Wednesday. Each Sunday during Lent, the book will be used heavily during, each Sunday during Lent, the book will be used heavily during the Sunday morning message. Please remember to bring your books to each service. Board members, please remember today after church is our regularly scheduled board meeting. Check the bulletin board for opportunities available to you as well as the community.
Let me emphasize here. The Lent guidebooks are on this table. When I say that they will be used heavily during Sunday morning services, I will be following those lessons, those outlines every Sunday. Please remember to have your books with you. Also, next Sunday I will have notebooks for you just for your Lent lessons. So you will want to follow along, taking your notes as much as possible. I tell you to take your notes, not just because it's nice to do, but because this helps you. As you grow, as you unfold, as you develop, this is why you do that. So those notebooks will be available for you for your Lent guides. Make sure you pick one up. Matter of fact, pick two. Keep one for yourself and then give one, share one with somebody. Okay?
All right. Also, little added announcement, there's some real nice jewelry back there on the table for the ladies that I brought in that you can have for free. And they're just going to be out there. And also, if you haven't checked your mailbox, there's some information in the mailbox that needs as for the business meeting, that board meeting after church. So please check your mailbox for that information. Also, so I guess that would be that. Are any other announcements?
Yes. The tithe letters, if I have your email, the tithe letters have gone out to your email, so check your email. But if you want a hard copy, I have a hard copy of them in the office as well. And that way I don't have to snail mail all of them. The ones I've got email for, I send email, but I have them all printed, so.
Okay. Any other announcements? Yes, Dee.
I have a question. Is that Neil Donald Walsh, is that communion or conversation with God?
Communion.
Communion.
Okay.
Yep, Communion with God by Neil Donald Walsh.
Okay.
All right, so there are not any other announcements. We move on to our daily word. Today's reading is coming from Friday, February 2nd, titled Insight. I deepen in insight as I learn and grow. I have been learning as long as I have been alive, as I have learned about the world around me. I have also learned about the world within me and the world beyond me. My thoughts and emotions give me insight into my inner life, showing me how I am responding to the world. I discover my creative power as I learn to direct my thoughts to live the life I chose and to grow spiritually. My spiritual path has drawn me close to God. Through prayer, I have touched the life beyond this one and found insight into myself as a divine being. I am so much more than my human experience. As I behold life beyond this life, I embrace this vastness, welcoming more insight as I pray and contemplate the awesome mystery of God. I have good advice and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. Proverbs 8:14. And now I'll turn the podium back over to the room.
Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. Turning within to that place in consciousness where we realize that God is all there is. There is absolutely nothing else. I invite you to just be with that presence, to just be in silence. To be still and know. It is in the stillness when we can hear the voice of God speaking to us. It is in the stillness when we receive our inspiration. It is in the silence where we realize that everything we could ever need is
is already done. Allow your heart to be open to the language of love in the stillness. In moments of stillness and silence, mentally recognize that God's healing light is moving through every cell, every fiber, every muscle, every tissue of your being. I am healed. I am whole. In the silence. As we conclude this time of stillness, as we conclude this time of silence, we declare all things to be done. We declare peace. We declare wholeness. We declare divine substance is now active in me, through me, and as me. Bringing our attention back to this time and this place. We recognize this to be true. In the name and through the power that is in the name of our master teacher and our elder brother, Jesus Christ. Amen. And so it is. To me, our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God I have thoroughly enjoyed this adventure in faith, and to bring it to a close this week is somewhat bittersweet because I don't want to end here. It does really keep going, but I do know that we've got something else coming up that is going to be just as fulfilling, just as enjoyable as this adventure in faith. We're going to close this year's adventure in dealing with spiritual unfoldment. We've had several ideas or several concepts that we worked with on how we unfold and how we grow. But when it comes to what our unfoldment is, I want to emphasize that what we are doing in unfolding is we are awakening and rising to the spiritual consciousness of the I am, to develop or do a more advanced or stronger form. This is what we have been doing. This is working, growing ourselves financially, growing ourselves mentally and emotionally, and growing as spiritual beings. I want you to know today that I am going to build this lesson. So before I actually really get into the meat of the lesson, there are some foundations that I need to lay, some ground rules that I want to set down as we build where we're going. To unfold spiritually, to grow or to change into a larger, more stronger form spiritually, there are 4 areas that we're going to work with. There are 4 things that I want to present to you, or that I'm going to submit to you today, that will, watch this, guarantee your growth. Yes, I said that. You follow these 4 things, I guarantee your spiritual growth. And the reason I can guarantee your spiritual growth is because this works if you work it. Now, if you're not willing to work the plan, it's not my fault. I have given you all of the tools. I've given you all of the recipes for you to have the full life that you so desire. You follow these 4 things. Now, I'm also going to say this. You're going to get formula after formula, step after step, all of that. And I'm not in any way negating or making light of any order or organization that things are put in. I know this works because this is what I do. I'm going to put it to you like that. This is what I do. That's how I know this works. So I said I need to build this for you. Prayer, meditation, study, and practice. So now let's get into the meat of this and begin to build it. What is prayer? Whenever I teach prayer, I sometimes go through what prayer is not before I go into what prayer is. But I want to present to you today this main point when it comes to prayer. We can get this down, our prayer life will be drastically increased. That prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It's the most highly accelerated mind action. Now, this was where I almost didn't put this into today's message, because I want you to understand this. When we're talking about mind action, the most highly accelerated mind action, which means that there are other actions of mind that are not as accelerated as prayer. Our mind is always working. We're always using our mind. But when we're dealing with what actual prayer really is those mind actions that we have on a regular basis taken to the 10th level. It's the highest of all of those mind actions that we could ever have, or that we have on a daily basis that do not synchronize us with the Christ mind. Hello? Yeah. I mean, I'm just keeping it real with you. We have some mind actions that go on a regular basis. But in order to unfold, in order to grow as a spiritual being, we must synchronize those mind actions with the Christ mind instead of synchronizing those mind actions with what's going on CNN. We've got to synchronize our mind with the Christ mind instead of what the diagnosis is. Hello. We've got to synchronize our mind with the Christ mind instead of what they're saying the economy is. Right. So you see, the mind actions that we have on a daily basis sync us with other things, but that is not using that action accelerated to the point of actual prayer. When we begin to do this, that's when we can spiritually unfold. When we look at what prayer is, we find, I want to ask everybody, do you have a copy of the revealing word, a hard copy? Okay. I recommend that everyone have a hard copy. You can, between God and man. Now, I don't know if this is for somebody on YouTube or Facebook, because pretty much everybody in here knows that when we use the word in unity, communion, I'm not talking about the elements. I'm not talking about bread, crackers, and grape juice. Okay? I want that to be clear. When I'm talking about communion, the actual definition of communion is this. It is sharing or exchanging intimate thoughts and feelings, especially when the exchange is on a mutual or spiritual level. That's what communion is. It is the sharing or the exchange of intimate thoughts and feelings. You see, this is why every conversation that you have is not 100% communication. Okay. Because instead of sharing or exchanging information, what people are trying to do is to get their point across. Trying to tell you how I feel. Oh, here's a good one. I'm just going to give them a piece of my mind. Instead of giving somebody a piece of your mind, what I suggest you do is go back and grab all of those pieces and put them together for yourself. instead of trying to make somebody else have your same view. Because you see, if you try to bring someone else, ooh, watch this, because this lesson is for me. Don't try to bring somebody else to your level of consciousness, because it might be a step down for them. So we have to watch how we try to exchange information. Give yours, but be open to receive what the other one has. That's true prayer. It is the communion, the exchange of information. Now, this communion takes place. Where does this exchange happen? This exchange happens in the innermost part of you. The innermost part of you. So instead of trying to have a conversation with somebody out there, instead of trying to have a conversation with a God out there, this communication, this exchange takes place inside of you. The exchange is difficult for some people to experience because of their idea or their concept of where God is or what God is. Because see, sometimes people's idea or concept of God changes how you communicate with them. If your idea is that God sits high, looks low, and will zap you for everything that you have not done right in your life, your communion, your exchange with God is going to be different. Because if, and I have to emphasize this, if God were going to strike you down for the things that you've done, I'm here to testify that I would be a grease spot on the floor right now. So it's developing a different idea or image of God that causes that exchange to take place. Also, when we talk about this communion with God, it is the only way to cleanse and perfect the consciousness and thus permanently heal the body. Permanently heal the body. I don't have enough time, but I'm going to mess with this a little bit. You see, sometimes the reason that we are not permanently changed is because we have not gotten to the point where we're working with healing. There is a difference in being cured and being healed. We think being cured is the answer. But it is through prayer, what we have learned, this intimate exchange, that we are permanently healed. You see, with a cure, it can resurface again. But to permanently be healed is an entirely different story. The next thing that we're going to work with is the idea of the concept of meditation. Now, when I give you this definition of this first part of what meditation is, it is not going to encompass all of what meditation is. Continuous and contemplative thought. You see, there are some times when we will continuously contemplate a thought that is not for our highest good. Hello. We will continuously contemplate the what ifs. What if I don't get the job? What if he don't like me? What if things don't work out? What if? You see, we will what if ourselves right into the cemetery. I submit to you today that we must move from what if land into God is land. To contemplate continuously on God and not contemplate continuously on the problem or the challenge. To meditate is to dwell mentally on anything, realizing the reality of the absolute. The reality of the absolute. I say reality, not factuality. That must be clear. The fact is, there's $11.90 in the bank. That's the fact. I'm not saying I am aware that that's there. I'm not saying that that money ain't there. That's what's there. But the reality is where I contemplate, where I continuously work from. Meditation is a steady effort to know, a steady effort of the mind to know God. A steady effort, which means you got to keep doing it over and over and over again. Now, the purpose of meditation, I'm going to give you this real quick because I got to get these other 2 points. The purpose of meditation is, number one, to expand the consciousness Christward. Say Christward. Christward. To expand the consciousness Christward. You see, a lot of our effort is expanding our consciousness outside. A lot of our attention is expanding our consciousness on what the facts are instead of to the innermost part of ourselves. The purpose of meditation is to bring into real truth. Divine truth. You see, we can't get to divine truth because we're always looking at what's going on the outside, what's going on out there. The purpose of meditation is to be, I love this one, to be transformed in spirit, soul, and body by the renewing of your mind. I'm wondering if I'm even going to get through all of this today. I don't know. In order to be transformed, your mind must be renewed. Your mind being renewed, and this is one of the biggest lessons I have had to learn. My mind being renewed does nothing to transform anybody else's life. That was a big one for me. My mind being renewed transforms me.
Right.
It does nothing for anybody else. We dealt with 2 of those 4 components that will cause you to have spiritual unfoldment. This is my favorite study. In order to unfold spiritually, it requires study. Study is the devotion of time and attention to acquire knowledge. To study means to learn about a subject especially in an educational class. This being a teaching ministry, I have to emphasize this, and I'm going to emphasize this always, is that in order to grow spiritually, you must be in a class. There is always going to be a class given here at Unity Church of Flint as long as I am the senior minister here. That's what's going to happen.
Yay.
Because I know the importance of study. Want you all to know right now, Wednesday night there's always going to be a class. There's always going to be a class offered on Wednesday night. And I want to emphasize this more. The only reason there will not be a class offered on Wednesday night is because I am in a class. If I'm not teaching a class, trust and believe I'm going to be in a class. I cannot ask you to study and be in a class if I'm not willing to do the same thing myself. And I'm going to show you the importance of all of these in a few, if I can get down to it. Spiritual education is to draw forth from within, through meditation and prayer, the deep truths of God. You see, the deep truths of God are already inside of you, and you cannot bring them out until you study. That's the importance of this. Now, all of this, meditation, prayer, study, application of the idea. It's one thing just to hear this information, but what do you do with it? That's why the classes are so important, because it's during those class times that we learn how to use them in our actual daily lives, the things that you are going through. That's why this is called practical Christianity. Because see, there are some things that you're going through on a regular basis, just like I go through on a regular basis, where I have to actually apply this truth principle to what I'm doing. That's if I want to get the results. Now, if you don't want the results, then don't practice it. Am I making sense? Okay. Now, I want to show you how this all comes together. I'm going to try to do this quickly. In the book of Ezekiel, I really enjoy, and the more I work with it, I got to work with the book of Ezekiel a little bit more than I have been, because Ezekiel is so profound in the fact that Ezekiel is so much like us. He had an experience with God that was different from the other prophets in the Bible. You see, your experience with God is not going to be the same as everybody else's experience with God. You see, some of the other prophets, they said that they heard God's voice. Other prophets said they felt God's presence. Others said that they saw different signs. Each one of the prophets had their own individual experience with God. Ezekiel's experience was different because he said, not only did God speak to me, not only did I have a personal relationship with God or an internal feeling, Ezekiel said God himself sought my opinion. You'll remember this, or you'll find this, I'm going to say, in the 36th chapter of Ezekiel. You all know this. When God said, asked Ezekiel, said, Son of man, can these bones live? God actually asked Ezekiel a question. What do you think? We move further on to the 40th and 42nd chapter in the book of Ezekiel. Here it is. Not only did God seek his opinion, but God himself personally took Ezekiel on a tour. So let me show you something personally. I'm going to show you a temple. I'm going to show you a place. And in this temple, there's going to be outer courts. And in those outer courts, there's going to be an inner court. And in that inner court, there's going to be an outer room. And in that outer room, there's going to be another inner room. So God was actually taking Ezekiel on a tour. But in the 47th chapter, after this elaborate tour, is where I want to emphasize and show you how this spirit, Ezekiel 47:1. Afterwards he brought me again unto the door of the house. You see, all of this is taking place after that tour. And behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. Verse 2, then he brought me out of the way of the gate and led me about to the way where the outer gate was, that was looking eastward, and behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters. That's very, very important. I want you to make note of this. He brought me through the waters, and the waters were at the ankles. That was the first thing that happened.
The waters were at what?
The
waters were at what?
His ankles.
Oh, okay.
Then again the man, meaning God, the tour guide, measured another 1,000 cubits, or we'll say 1,000 feet. But at this time, the waters had got deeper, and they were around his knees. Remember, this is his personal experience. The tour guide then measured yet another 1,000. And at this time, he brought him through the waters again, and at this point, the waters were around his waist. So you see how the waters is getting deeper and deeper each time he was laying out. Are you beginning to see how this puts together with your spiritual unfoldment? I'm going to put it all together in a little bit, but see, I had to give you all that other stuff first before I gave you this scripture. The last measurement that the tour guide gave Ezekiel was when he brought him through yet deeper waters. It was too deep for him to even swim in. We should be at about verse 6 now. After the waters had gotten so deep that he couldn't swim in it, the tour guide said unto him, Son of man, hast thou seen this? In other words, have you been paying attention to what's been going on here? Have you been paying attention to where you have been on this journey? Have you been aware that the waters started out at the ankles and it got deeper to the knees and it got deeper? Have you been taking note of these things? After the tour guide said that, then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the water, he caused him to return back to where he started. The bank where the waters were coming out under the gate. And this was the thing. This is where I've got to bring this thing to a close. When the tour guide got Ezekiel back there, and he said, did you take note of this? On either side of the river where it started, there were now trees growing there. He said, I want you to watch this. Look at this. You started this journey, and I begin to take you on a trip. But now that you've come back, there are trees here. As you unfold spiritually, as you practice this, you see, there are going to be times when our prayer work is just going to be around the ankles. We're just going to do it a little bit. Then sometimes our meditation might get to the knees. We're going to do a little bit of studying. But we got to get to the point where we practice this. When we pray, when we meditate, when we study, when we practice all of this, that, I should say, then and only then will there be trees, will there be results on both sides of your river. You see, the scripture tells us that wherever these waters go, where there were no trees, now there will be trees. You see, where there was confusion, after the waters flow, after you grow or unfold spiritually, if there was confusion there, now there's going to be peace. Where there was indecision, because of your being led through these 4 steps that I've outlined for you today, where there was indecision, now there's going to be clarity. This is the result or the benefit of unfolding spiritually. Where there was lack, after the healing waters flow, there's abundance. I cannot rest until each of you experience complete peace. That's why I do this. I cannot rest until everybody is at a place of spiritual abundance. I want you to be spiritually fed on both sides of the river. Your natural life and your spiritual life. That's why I do this. That's why I've been telling you that we need to spiritually unfold trees on both sides of your waters. I thank you, and I God bless you.
Crushing, in the pressing,
making wine in the soil. I now surrender. You are breaking new ground. So I yield to you and to your careful hand. When I trust you, I don't need to understand. Make me your vessel. Make me an offering. Make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing, but all you have given me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. In the crushing, in the pressing, you are making new wine. In the soil, I now surrender. You are breaking new ground. You are breaking new ground. So make me a vessel. Make me an offering. Make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing, but all you have given me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. 'Cause where there is new wine, there is new power. There is new freedom, and the kingdom is near. I lay down my old flames to carry your new fire today. Cause where there is new wine, there is new power. There is new freedom, and the kingdom is here. I lay down my old flames to carry your new fire today. But all you have given me, Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me.
Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you. Thank you. Would you please now join as we collectively share our substance, as we collectively share our talents, our treasures, and our time. And we do so by blessing our money substance. However you have come prepared to give, or however you have been directed to give during this message or during this service. Let's declare our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and increases all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. For those of you who are donating online, thank you so much, because your financial support helps keep this ministry going, so we can continue to bring you this transformative message that's going to transform your life, that's going to have you, or to cause you to have trees on both sides.
of your river. Now, if you would stand and please come forward, if you would, as we sing our peace song and get ready for our benediction. All right, guys. Where my boys at? Where my boys at? Come on, here.
Oh yeah, you gotta go tell
Yeah,
them.
come
What
on,
did you
here
learn
with
today?
me.
What did you learn today? What did you learn today?
That what? What did you learn?
We learned about God.
Okay, what did you learn about God?
He did everything.
Did everything. That's right. That's right. God did everything and God is everything. Right?
Come with
Okay, come on, let's get in the circle. Take your hand. Take your hand.
You love this song? I do too.
Okay, so everybody ready?
Yeah.
As we sing our peace song, here we go. Oh, wait a minute, let's stop. Hold on. Go back to the beginning. Let's start it over again. We can do that, that's no problem. Go back one more slide.
I think we can do that.
Yeah, we can.
Let there be peace.
Here we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is